Let's discuss. Hey everyone, it's Rachel back again with another video, and today I'm going to be checking out a new single from the Callous Daoboys. I did the first single off of the EP this is taken from, which will be a 3-track EP, one more new track. The EP will be out on October 20th, and the first song was Waco Jesus. I covered it on the channel. It is a fantastic track, definitely a contender for the Riffs of the Year playlist for this year. I have high expectations. I love the Callous Daoboys. Their album Celebrity Therapist is one that I have constantly put back on the playlist since the first time that I saw them live last year. I got to see them twice this year so far, and I am planning on seeing them on Halloween this year as well, which I'm very excited for. So this track is called Pushing the Pink Envelope. I will link it in the description, the music video I'll be using in the reaction portion of this, any sort of pre-orders or merch you can get for God Smiles Upon the Callous Daoboys, which is the title of the EP that's upcoming, and I will link all their social media as well. So all that being said, I'm going to stop talking and we are going to get straight into it.
Expedition into this quiet suburban home has led to some shocking results. The suburban specter has bested us on almost every level, and we intend to retaliate. We're the Callous Daoboys, and welcome back to Phantom Finders.
We have some more big riffs in this one. Oh.
Any minute now, she'll be playing from somewhere where I hate myself. So if it's all the same to you, I think I'll just get fucked inside. Okay, for anyone with me, I wanna be this easy. Stop baby until I fall down. This is a
The Callous Daoboys pushing the pink envelope. Let's discuss. So, with one listen to this track, I think it will be my favorite over Waco Jesus so far, because it just has a lot of like that wackiness that I really loved in Celebrity Therapist. I think when you get more into mathcore and stuff, which this is probably my favorite modern mathcore band, even if I take off that modern label, I think they would still be up there right now. They're just a band I've been able to get so far into when, it took me a little bit. The first listen I had to the Callous Daoboys, it was one track off of Celebrity Therapist, and I didn't have the context of the full album and really know who the band was, so I was like, this is just kind of a weird track. And then the more I started revisiting it, and the track was title track, and I really liked the singing on it. I loved the heavier bits of it as well. I just didn't really know the sound of the Callous Daoboys yet, I guess. And the more that song grew on me, I was like, I need to run this full album. And I just, seeing them live on top of that, it was right around the same time. I fell in love with them. They have the ability to include stuff that just is so wacky but works so well, and this track 100% shows that, even though there are like 4 different substantial parts of this song that feel like a breakdown. So the heaviness is certainly there. You have Carson giving us those lows, some more huge riffs on this track, but in addition to that, the use of synth in this is incredibly I guess like it's a sound that would have to be done by a very specific band such as the Callous Daoboys, because like having a transition with some of the synth, I think there was one that you can use as an example in like the first minute of the song, maybe right around the 1 minute mark that I'm talking about, where it has a little transition that's synth, and then the end of it has like a ching ching that sounds like a video game type of sound. So, and then you have that break where it's more of like an electronic sound, and it reminds me of the like coming out onto the stage song that they play. I don't remember the exact word for it now. My brain is going to melt under the pressure of trying to remember. But so when they come out, or at least on the tour I saw them most recently on, which was in June, and it was a Rollo Tomasi headliner. But they played, I have no idea what song it was that they played when they came out, and they were all like jumping around to the song. And I think the transition I'm talking about, or it wasn't even a transition, it was more like a break. It has that same energy. So I think kind of incorporating their personality into their music, the lyrics once again, calling back to Star Baby, which is one of my favorite tracks from them. I think What Is Delicious, Who Swarms probably takes the title for favorite Callous Daoboys track for me right now. But Star Baby also takes that crown, or whatever you want to call it sometimes. It varies depending on where I'm at and what I've been gravitating towards listening wise, but having a band with such a wide sound, it's easy for me to kind of rotate favorite tracks because they have such diversity and ability to do stuff that just would not work in other ways. They're able to kind of bridge that into their music so well. The heavier parts of this, the sections where all of a sudden, it's just tough as hell, I am 100% here for that. I think having a chorus like this on the track, having the transition breaks that I'm talking about in the song that are quirky and add so much dynamic to it really helps, but those heavier portions just sound so good as well. So in terms of what I'm looking for from the Callous Daoboys, this is absolutely it. And now I have this and Waco Jesus, which though this would be my favorite of the two, Waco Jesus is still a phenomenal track that will stay on the playlist as well. Like I mentioned in my video for that one, it felt a little bit more tame in terms of, the bigger picture of this band's sound, it felt a little bit more tame. This one does not at all. This has the Callous Daoboys sound I'm talking about. But Waco Jesus, that riff that comes in almost right away, that is going to be one that stays on the Riff of the Year playlist. That will be hard to beat, but this track brings a lot of that energy to it while taking shape in a completely different way. In that break section that I'm talking about, where the acoustic guitar is like being raised up, the transition into that section of the song has like almost 80 sounding like drum hits just leading into it. I think I would need to get some more listens on the track to like fully grasp everything that's going on in it, I think. But little details like that make it feel much different than anything that I'm listening to. I think otherwise it still does, but that kind of furthers that idea. So for me, this has like I mentioned, a lot of those lows from Carson, where we're getting the side of the screams that I really enjoy. Those lows are incredible, but at the same time, in that section I'm talking about, there's a little bit of vocal harmonizing. There are sections like the chorus. There are various parts of this song where we also get the side of the vocals that adds to my idea of the sound of this band, at least, and their ability to do many different things. The Callous Daoboys have opened the door to pretty much do anything in their music and have people be like, well, it is the Daoboys. At least in my opinion, that's how it is. I never know what to expect going into music from them, and I am a more recent Callous Daoboys fan, so I think as time goes on, that feeling will kind of stay. It's not a band that I feel like will, I just need to be on board for a few releases and I'll know what to expect. It seems like they just write whatever they want, and that comes out in a great way. So on first listen, this is going to be my favorite of the two tracks. I did another video today where there was nothing that, in this section of the video where I normally say something I would have liked to see different. There's really not anything that I would like to see different. There was a little section that sounded like it had singing that was like, it was overlapping, which I think is meant to be like, voices overlapping and stuff like that. And I guess if I had to pick something out, a little bit of expanding on that, because they have portions of their songs, What Is Delicious, Who Swarms, the title track, I added the in their title track, songs like that where they have sections like that are main attractions to the song for me, I guess, where they just go into like the singing that's completely different and stuff, but it really doesn't need it, because this is going to go on to repeat for me regardless. It's got both sides of Callous Daoboys. It has that unpredictability to it as well. So straight into the playlist for me. I don't have any notes for it. Let me know what you thought in the comments. There will be one more track coming on October 20th to finish out this EP, which is called God Smiles Upon the Callous Daoboys. They are working with the Swamp Sound, which I've mentioned, Hunter from Mood Ring, Psycho Frame, and he works with a lot of bands on the Swamp Sound, and also Brandon, who works with him on that. So them working with the Swamp Sound on this EP definitely taps into something different, and I'm excited to get that third track to hear what it will be like in full. But regardless, just excited to be getting new Callous Daoboys. Like I mentioned, I'm going to be going to see them again shortly after the EP comes out, so I'm hoping to see this song live for sure, and Waco Jesus, possibly the third one, which I have no idea what it sounds like. So let me know in the comments which of the two singles we've gotten off the EP so far are your favorite. If there's anything different you'd like to see about the song, let me know in the comments as well. I will link the music video I used in the reaction portion of this, as well as any sort of pre-orders, merch for God Smiles Upon the Callous Daoboys and for the band in general, all their social media. That stuff will be in the description of this video. Make sure to go give them some love on the original video if you enjoyed this. In addition to that, you can find my link tree in the description as well. That will have any link you may need related to my channel, the Patreon, my Twitch channel, the invite link for the Discord server, which is where the community is based for my channel. Got a bunch of music lovers in there conversing about many things music related and not, so if you want to come join, hang with the homies, that link will be there. On Patreon, I'm offering many different things. I make playlists for tier 3. I just made an additional video that will be the first of a 5-part video for this year, talking about the bands I've been listening to the most, top 25, and kind of talking about each band for a little while. I make playlists, like I think I already mentioned that. I don't know. It's there. Everything I do is listed out there. And then Twitch is where I do my live streaming, all music related streams. I do a reaction request live stream every week, normally on Tuesday. This upcoming week I have a show on Tuesday, so I'll probably either bump the time up to earlier with a hard cutoff time, which I don't normally have a hard cutoff time and I spend way too much time streaming, or I will move it to a different day. But regardless, I'll make an announcement about that. If you want to be notified when I go live, see what kind of other music related streams I'm doing that are not request streams, that link is in the link tree in the description. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.